pump those numbers up. Those are rookie numbers in this racket.
Target locked. Ready to fire.
Yo, good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Morning Market Report. Hopefully, we don't have any issues today. Audio's good, video's good. We'll see. YouTube's been giving some people some hell today. Shout out to the Alex O Crypto Gang, the OGs coming over here and joining us. I appreciate you, Alex, and appreciate all the Otter Gang that's joining us here. Of course, shout out to my alumni. Glad to have everyone here. And yeah, appreciate it, man. Rebel Moon said, nice intro. Yeah, hey, we changed it up, man. Check it out. We changed this entire guy's setup. He's now silver member. He's now silver member, and he loves silver. So there you go. Little dynamic thumbnail there for you. But let's go ahead and get it, guys. You know what time it is. Class is in session. Let's go. Getting everyone in here. OC's coming into the background. He's running into the back of the studio right now from Chart Prime, the sponsor of our show every day. But let's go ahead and get OC up here. OC, good morning. Good sir. How are you doing?
Good morning. Doing great. I mean, looking at Bitcoin did almost exactly what we were talking about. That makes me very, very happy. And right now, I'm just standing by, waiting for a possible entry.
That's why I had to drop the sniper. Had to drop the sniper.
Let's go.
Ready to fire.
Oh,
there you go.
Yesterday, what a day. The scalping session was so much fun.
It was a good session. Let's go ahead and jump on that Bitcoin chart. Let's talk about what I'm seeing over there, and then I want to get into the news. Market sell-off today, and couple of reasons. One, the sentiment of what's going on with the Fed Reserve. We'll talk about that. Yesterday, slightly hawkish. I think he was majority hawkish in my opinion, but it's more about the dot plots, and we'll talk about those and what that means for 2026 rate cuts, 2027 rate cuts, and 2028 rate cuts. So let's go check it out and get over there. Let's get on this chart and talk about the chart right now. There we go. Chart. That's not a chart. Those are bubbles. There's a chart. Yesterday, we talked about getting up to this 618, 94,237. I thought we might come up to try to hit this upper band of this bear flag. Hey,
do you have a flag?
Yes, we do. It's a bear flag. It's right there. I thought we might get up that high. We did not. We couldn't. Here's what I was assuming would happen. Is that we would get a swing fell pattern above this previous candle and then come off of that to the downside move. Didn't quite make it, but it absolutely did reject right on this golden pocket, which has been previous resistance and previous support range. Now coming down, I have to go, okay, what's our next levels? We're looking at 88,829 here. It's going to be the quantum reactor. Still has not turned green, guys. So it means that it's not giving us any indication that this is a bullish move coming in here. Now, if we get a bounce off of this, it's a whole different story. But we also have the bear flag coming in, bottom of that bear flag coming in at about 87,100 right now. But of course, by the time it gets down there, could be, as high as 87.2, 87.4, somewhere around there. And then we've got the 786, which was a previous level here for us to keep an eye on, that 78.6 being the top side of the platinum pocket. How are we looking on the oscillator? Well, the oscillator told us everything we needed to know yesterday, guys. We got the downturn and we got the diamond. So the reversal diamond, the stiff diamond, and the reversal. There's actually a red triangle here too, right underneath that. which gave us, hey, this is the top. So yeah, we come in for one more test of resistance, and then down we go. Money flow right now in the red, volume right now in the red, oscillator coming down, true sevens all coming down, meaning 7 indicators are pointing for downside movement on the oscillator right now. And so watching all of this, I am thinking that we've got some levels of support here, but as of right now, I think I'm waiting on my dollar cost average for the week. Of course, we'll go over the best days to DCA when we get over to that segment, but that's what I'm seeing on the chart. OC, is there anything that you're watching on the Bitcoin chart? We'll jump on yours real fast before we jump into the news. What are you seeing right now, and what's your what's the OC intuition telling us over there, bro?
So let's take a look at it here. Something that is right now a little worrying. We need to go ahead and say it. It is that, well, we're heading down, and in a bear flag, heading down could signify that we could be getting ready to break out like we did in here. Let's not just jump into conclusions just so quick today, right? I mean, we need to wait. Yesterday we were expecting, yesterday we were expecting exactly this movement, so a little bit more to the upside, and then coming back down based on the goose head that it was forming. It was not a proper goose head, and therefore we did not had the exact target as we were speculating for a short entry. So we were very shy for that short entry, but then ultimately we are going down into the trend line. That is the next most important part, the going down into a trend line. As we have touched the trend line every single time and we have bounced out of it, I'm gonna be trying to long that trend line. So that's what I'm expecting at this point, and also being very, very careful so not to get trapped like in here. So what is that very careful, right? I mean, everybody tells you trade carefully. Yes, but then I long it and then it goes the other way around, right? So let's go and make an example. For example, let me just get rid just for now this short, and I'm going to be trying to long it somewhere around this line. Being careful means taking a look at your indicators. For example, your support and resistances, your predictive ranges, and of course, your Fibonacci tool. And then based on that, look at the next biggest support. I know this is a little bit messy, all right, but let me just make it quick. And right here, I can acknowledge a very strong area of support, all right? So what I'm going to be going for right now, it's turning everything off again, just so it doesn't get obnoxious. And I'm going to be adding my stop loss somewhere in between. I can get a protection out of a complete failure, but also I can get get saved if we start breaking out. So for me, it would be a little bit closer and then give myself just a little bit of that wiggle room. So in case, when look at this example, this is a perfect example. In case we break out of the channel, we hit that support zone, we're still within that support area, within that stop loss, bounce up, get out, head switch, and then short it, right? So let me just go ahead and copy these candles just to make sure that we are understanding the step by step. So let's just go for these candles in here, all right? And let's just say that right there, we do something like that, all right? So I'm going to be trying to long it somewhere around here, somewhere around here. There it is. And then as we go down, if it hits the support area and then comes back up, I can head switch in here, and right there, right here is when I do, of course, the head switch, which is opening up a short position like in here. And of course, as always, use your stop loss, rinse and repeat, and aim for a lower target. So this is going to be basically the plan, trying to long the support, because that's what we do. We long supports and we short resistances. And if we fail on that support, well, we're trying to protect ourselves, our capital, with the stop loss, right? And then bouncing back up. Very, very important, guys. Risk management is a big one in here. What do I mean with that, with the risk management? You have already a fixed area where your stop loss needs to be. Why? Because of the support zone. All right. So that means the only thing that you can play with is, first, your initial capital for this order. Second, that it's an isolated order. Remember that one. All right, that's very, very important. Isolation. And third, and not least, but last but not least, the X amount that you are asking your banks, basically your leverage. So right here, if you see that you are uncomfortable with how much stop loss you're putting in here, well, that means you are doing too much leverage or too much initial capital. So that's what I mean with being careful. We're getting into a risky zone when we are in a rising channel. So we need to be preventive, if that makes sense. So that's what I'm seeing right here on Bitcoin. Let me try it back to you.
Awesome. Shout out to Dread Mining. He said we just closed the CME gap on December 5th, and he is absolutely correct. We did. However, looking at this on the daily, and I'll bring this in, it's a very, very small one here. It's from Friday, December 5th. There's a Monday open right there. We did just come down and close that out. However, I'm looking at the money flow here on the daily, and what I'm seeing is that we're getting this curvature going on here, and the volume is coming down. I think that this is likely not going to be it might be a good scalp long. I don't know that I would scalp this or swing long this, especially since we have the dump indication here. Of course, I'm looking at the BTC one. This is your CME. Go over here and take a look. I do think that our next target's going to be down at the 786 right now as we're sitting here. Bring on the 4 hour. There we go. Yeah, I think I'm good with letting this ride to the downside. I don't know that I would long too much. If you are going to long off that CME, keep an eye on the $92,000 to the $94,000 range because that's going to be right back into this rejection zone of the golden pocket. But we do have a dynamic reactor running right across that 0.66 also. So that might be the first level that I would do a take profit if you're going to long off of that CME. If you got it on that one, awesome. Congratulations. Let's talk about, I don't know why my screen's over here doing that. There it goes. I had a screen doing some weird stuff. If hopefully the stream is doing well because I started to get notification from YouTube that I have a weak stream. So we'll see. Go see a doctor about that. That's what they say. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Let's go over here and take a look real fast. We got Alexander G in the house, Blackie Chan, aka BC Port Corp. We fill gaps around here. Coming from a black dude. I love you, bro. That's because Eric isn't a gap filler. JR's in here. Dread Mining, overall bearish. Yep, I agree. Two dubs in the house. Witch Wife 589. Eric, Ball and Wall, and I don't believe in CME gaps. Just a scalp. Cool. There you go. There's the thing. Trade Intuition. What's up, bro? How you doing, man? Bingo, bango for you, man. Who else we got in here right now? We've got a lot of people, actually. We got 106 people in here watching right now. 106 total. Nobody on X watching us today, even though we're simulcasting on X today. I don't know. LBC Lunar Beach is in the house with us. I saw CJ Taylor. That's my brother. Loco for Crypto's in here with us. Who else? Anybody else? Anybody else? I think I saw some more people up top, like Mike Vollmer and stuff. But Robert Mulligan, there we go. Found another name there. And that is about it. Let's go jump in on the news, OC, knock the news out of here, and then we'll come back and take a look at these charts. Also, we got to talk about silver, man. $100 silver coming. We got an article about it today. Let's go take a look at the news. Looking here at the metrics into the cryptoverse today, guys. Right now, total crypto market cap coming in at $3.066 trillion, holding above the $3 trillion mark. It's been pretty impressive to see that. Trend line is now sitting at 4.801 trillion. That's this red median here. Fair value, we'll call it. And undervaluation right now, currently sitting at negative 36.14%. So undervalued by 36% as of right now. Wristbands on Bitcoin sitting at 42. Right there on the wristbands, still a 3x DCA. And I will probably be picking up my DCA in the next couple of days. I'll show you that chart in a second. For the best days to dollar cost average Bitcoin in 2025. Bitcoin dominance right now sitting with stable coins included at 58.49%. Take away them stable coins, we're sitting at 64.6%. I want to go up here and grab best days to DCA, and we'll take a look at this. Best day to DCA. There we go. Best days to DCA, and I want to make this set up for 2025. And we'll put this as January 1st. And this is going to give us almost a full past year here of the days. Tuesday, Friday, Saturday. Saturday being the best, Friday the second best, Tuesday the third. And I'm watching for tomorrow. I think tomorrow or Saturday, get my DCA before I get on that cruise ship. Actually, get on that flight to go get on a cruise ship. I'll be gone for 2 weeks over in Europe, hitting up the Christmas markets and stuff with the wife. So hopefully I get my DCA in because I don't know what my connectivity is going to be over there for getting the stuff out. But I will make sure that I get at least the Bitcoin update to you guys on the Monday drops, even if I have to do it off my phone. You guys will get it over there in the Discord, I promise. Let's go check out the liquidations in the past 24 hours. Currently, right now, sitting at in the past 24 hours, 154,779 traders got liquidated. Total liquidations coming in at over $500 million, $526.7 million. What's up, FD White official in the house? Shout out to FD White, man. Let's go, bro. Appreciate you being here. The largest single liquidation order happened on Hyperliquid as a Bitcoin trade for $23.18 million on a single trade. OC, I told you, quit being a degen, bro. Looking here at X marks the spot. What do we have on fear and greed today? Stocks sitting at 36 in fear, although the NASDAQ, I think this might actually have a new update because it's been dropping since they opened, but sitting at 36 in fear. Crypto at 29, fear has moved up 3 spots since yesterday. Bitcoin in the red, Ethereum in the red, Solana in the red, downside moves. And there's our charts right there for crypto versus stocks, 36 and 29. We did get jobless claims this morning. This is your weekly unemployment filings. How many people filed for unemployment this week? And so out of that number, initially it was 236 versus an estimate of 220. That's what they got. They said, hey, we're looking at the job numbers. It's probably going to come in here about 220. No, it came in about 16,000 higher for the week. Signals a cooling labor market. Absolutely true statement. And you can see here on the chart, jobless claims just tanking hard here. Everyone was caught off guard with that number. Did not help at all. Of course, yesterday we did have the FOMC. This is the dot plot I was talking about. It's 19 different governors, Fed Reserves, and regional governors for the Fed Reserve. They all have a vote, and that's how they decide what they're going to do. They did vote for a 25 basis point rate cut yesterday, but 3 of them dissented, one of them calling for a 50 basis point rate cut on the other side, and then 3 dissenters. So we got overall 25 basis point rate cut yesterday, but here's the numbers that are making people a little worrisome. 2026, 1 rate cut. 2027, 1 rate cut. 2028, no rate cuts. Now, of course, May, we know we're going to get a new Fed Reserve coming in. That can change this entire sentiment of this. But remember, it's not a single seat that makes this call. He doesn't have a weighted vote. He doesn't have the ability to go, I think we should cut. And everyone else says, no, we don't. But he goes, well, I'm the chairman, so we're going to cut. It's not how that works. It's a democracy system over there. And everyone's got to vote, 19 votes. That's why it's uneven, so that they can't have a tie. Someone's going to, at some point, get their way because the majority votes with them. And so even if we get someone into there at the Fed Reserve, not me, I'm not going no matter what you guys say, in the Fed Reserve from Trump's council or Trump's cabinet, it doesn't mean that we're going to get a change on this if a majority of them feel like we should not do anything more than 1 rate cut in 2026 until we get more data. The data's not been good, guys. Inflation is sticking around. It's not going up higher. And then you're looking at the job numbers. They're just getting worse and worse and worse. So also we did get this yesterday. Here's your QE. You guys remember me telling you reverse repos? That's not QE. Tomos, that's not QE. The buyback on Soma, not QE. All normal monetary policies for the Federal Reserve. Guys, this is QE. The Fed says it will begin purchasing U.S. Treasury bills on December 12th and will purchase $40 billion worth of Treasury bills in 30 days. See how it's not just an overnight thing that they did? They didn't just wake up and go, stretch coffee, scratch my butt, buy some bonds, right? No, they announced it and the amount. That's what QE looks like for any of the content creators out there that have been talking about silent QE and stealth QE, and this is QE. Please take notes. This is what QE looks like. Thank you very much. There we go, guys. We do have QE now coming. However, the Federal Reserve has said that they are going to slow down. They are going to slow down on this. This is going to be for a few months that they're going to do this, and then they're going to pull back the reins. So we could see a point where the QE pauses, and then they see where we are with the data and decide what they need to do to inject money into the economy. But right now, $40 billion worth of Treasury bonds over a 30-day period, all starting on December 12th. How are we looking on the stock market? Let's give it a refresh. Scratch butt. That's right. QE won't start till rates are down and crash hits. You're probably right. They do everything. They do everything wrong, don't they? Dow Jones is up 0.6% today. The S&P down 0.3, and the Nasdaq was down a full 1%, now down about 0.75%. Russell 2K trying to show some life, up 0.14%. And the volatility index is sitting under 17, which means it's pretty chill right now. Looking at the bonds market, we are getting a little bit of a pullback, but still sitting above 4.1 on the U.S. Treasury yields, despite a rate cut. Looking at gold is sitting at $4,263, up about 0.9%, trying to hit that full 1% move to the upside. And silver, folks, let's go. Let's go. $63 silver, up 3.27% today. Getting a move there. Copper is up 1.92. Platinum and palladium both up over 2% today on this move. Let's look at the crypto bubbles. Looking quite red here, except for night. Midnight looking pretty strong there. Bitcoin down 1.8%. Ethereum giving back a lot of those gains that it had made, saying, hey, I'm going to outrun Bitcoin for a while. And then everyone got bullish on it. Now it's down 4.3%. That's how it works. XRP is down 3.4%. BNB down 2.6%. Solana's down 4%. Dogecoin down 5.5%. Tron, though, holding a positive on the day, up 1.3%. Cardano, oh, man. Here, we get a sound effect for that. Down 10.1% today, trying to get back down to that 40-cent mark. Sitting at 41 cents right now. Chainlink down 3.4%, not even close to its $14, which is far off from its 40 and very, very far off from $800. We'll just leave it at that. Down 3.1% today. Stellar Lumens down 3.1%. Leo token, native token for the Leo DeFi, up 1% today. Monero is holding it in green. Privacy token and Zcash, also privacy token, up 3.6% today. Hyperliquid losing there in between them, down 4.2%. Litecoin at number 19, down 3.6%. And SWE has moved its way back into the top 20. Go ahead, SWE, get it. It's at 3.8%, not because it did so good, but because Avalanche went back down the mountainside in an avalanche, and down it goes. So what up, y'all? First time really catching this live. Well, Deucey Does Crypto, welcome to the morning market report here on the Piper Academy Network. Glad to have you here, man. Everyone give him a shout out. Say Deucey, deuces. Throw up peace lines. Deuces for Deucey. There you go. Appreciate you, man. Let's go over here and take a look at the economic calendar. Here's the stuff we got today. Balance of trade, nothing to write home to mom about. Is it high? Yeah, sure, but it's nothing to write home to mom about. It was sitting at a deficit of $52.8 billion, lowest since June 2020, compared to $59.3 billion gap in August. It typically runs in between there. Overall, it is a little higher than we would like to see, but balance of trade came in. But the initial jobless claims, this is the one you got to keep an eye on. This is our weekly unemployment filings, and right now it was at 192,000 last week. We were expecting 220, maybe 205. Came in at 236,000 jobs, unemployment filings for the week. Next week, though, we are going to get non-farm payrolls Tuesday, December 16th. I will try to put something together for this, OC. I'm not sure if I'll be able to do it. I think it might be middle of the night for me or something. I don't know, but you'll have to break this stuff down for them next week. Non-farm payroll, maybe drop it into Chat GPT or something. Have her give me the breakdown. But as of right now, looking like 55,000 is the forecast for non-farm payrolls, which is a devastating punch to the gut on the job numbers. We'll have to wait and see, all coming next week. Fed interest rate approved a third rate cut. We already talked about this, slower pace ahead. That's the dot plot. Do we have a live update on this? The S&P falling after nearing record highs. They almost hit that record high. Oracle's disappointment drags down the AI stocks. And you guys, just so you're tracking, that chart, that Oracle down 12.5% on the daily right now, getting absolutely wrecked. Fed Watch Tool, how are we looking for rate cuts coming up in the future? 75.6% chance of no rate cut in January right now. Next FOMC will be January 28th. And guess what? I won't be here for that one either because I'll be on a 2-week cruise in the Caribbean instead of Europe. So the next FOMC, OC, I'm leaving you all the big jobs, man. I'm sorry, OC. Oh, man.
I'm up for the challenge,
What
my
else we
friend.
got? All right, bro. It's all right. We'll make it happen. Here's this article. I'll talk about this in a little bit. This is the headline. No, triple digit silver. What's next after the Sleeping Beauty metals 115% rally? Stay tuned for the breakdown on that in that chart. OC, what do you think? The FOMC, they were a little hawkish yesterday. Piper took profits. Piper took profits at 126. FD. Piper took profits a while back, but I hope you did too. If you didn't, watch for these relief rallies. Maybe you can just edge out a little bit each time. And if not, it is December, not financial advice. But if your time to take any losses was to be, it would be the month of December so that you can tax loss harvest for the next tax year. Make sure you check out right there above OC's head, decrypted.tax, link down below, and tax professionals specializing in crypto get legal and professional care from decrypted.tax. So there you go. OC, what do you think? FOMC, we thought they would be hawkish. We put it out yesterday. We literally had a thumbnail with Jerome Powell holding a hawk. But I think that the dot plot for the upcoming years is way more of a hawkish message than anything that he said in his speech. What do you think?
I think the same. I mean, whatever is coming is not gonna be as easy as to jump that hurdle, right? I mean, we have a lot of macroeconomics going behind the FOMC decision, and I will say that at this point, it's a loss kind of like deal. No matter what they do, they're gonna have a big critic behind them. So it's like, hey, do you want to cut the right hand or the left hand, right? I mean, none of that kind of like it has like a straightforward desirable outcome. But I will also tell you that I believe that they're going to the right path, quote unquote. I think they could be doing some other stuff, but again, I'm not in the chair. I'm not making those decisions, and this is just my humble opinion. Something important to know: this is a battle between presidential decisions at this point and economical turnarounds, right? So for one part, you have one vision in one side, and for the other one, you have the counterweight trying to not counteract those decisions, but to regulate, and no blow some fuses on the other hand. But at some point, you're gonna have some short circuits where, well, you will have to deal with those later, and that's just part of the machinery of economy, right? It just happens. So I think we are in a quote unquote complicated scenario, especially because we're gonna have a change of Fed chair soon, and that actually worries me a little bit.
Mid-year.
Yes. And I'm getting a little nervous on that because, I mean, when you have that much experience like Powell, I mean, regardless if you like it or not, you cannot deny the results, right? Late or soon, he had results and he had managed at least 3 crises, right? Three big crises. At least
A
at the very, very
continuing
least.
crisis. I think the
Yes.
crisis he's been managing has been like someone was walking along doing just fine, stumbled there on a rock, started to fall, rolled down, and it was like a slow motion train wreck down a staircase. That's what Jerome Powell has been managing for about 2 years now.
Definitely. And, plus, I mean, if you guys have read the Fourth Turning book, if you haven't, please read it. It's a fantastic, very fair warning. Do not panic when you read that book because it's just like reading a premonition. But you will understand that we are right now on a part of a turning or a part of a society cycle where we need to restructure. So old institutions are breaking down, not really answering to what the people needs and economy needs. And we are in the experimental part as society, global society, to tear down those institutions and build new.
Yep.
Part of that is a reflection of, hey, CBDCs, new economy, global money, crypto. And can you read it?
Yeah, Powell is basing all the numbers on future AI growth, though, kind of a fallacy. And it helps some numbers, but it can't fix jobs. He ignored the mass layoffs because of AI. And this is such a true statement. Shout out to BC Port Corp, host of the Good Morning Crypto right here on the Piper Academy show. But here's the problem. There's a metadata center, metadata center, say that 3 times fast, over in El Paso being built. Once it's up and running, it's only going to bring in 100 jobs. 100 jobs. We've seen layoffs this year, like 1.2 million layoffs in 2025. So, yeah, I think shout out to BC. It's an absolutely great point. And that, yeah, they're looking at the valuation of AI as a growth of the economy, but they're not looking at the jobs that have been lost and the very few jobs that AI are going to bring back. And I do think that is a fallacy. And I think that if the next Fed Reserve comes in and has any type of mindset of let me do this and take a big quick peek there. All right, markets look good. We're good to go. Instead of getting into the details, we could be setting ourselves up for 2026 being a horrible year. So, hey, all we can do is just take a look at charts. That's it. That's all we can do. Look at the charts and show me on the chart where I should short and long and go from there, and why I need to just dollar cost average strong assets. I'm not touching alts yet still. So what do you got, OC?
Absolutely. There's a couple of things right now, and I was talking about this with my brother. He has a master in psychology, and asking him about this, right? To kind of have the feeling, because he works for the government, and he's got, at least here in Mexico, he has people that lost their job or go through something like traumatic. They get assigned to him, right? And I was telling him, you know what? He was telling me, well, there's a lot of unemployment, right? And people are getting fear to the AI. And I was telling you, well, yes, but I don't know, call me crazy, but and also I want you guys' opinion in here. And this is gonna be a little bit, either you're gonna think that it's way offhand, but I think it has its points. I am comparing this AI phenomena to the Ford phenomena. Not exactly 1-to-1, but let me explain that. That's what the detail is, right? When the car manufacturing created the assembly line, how many cars were just printing out of the factory, right? All of the horse breeders, all of the all of that industry lost their job. And not only that, many
The carriage makers
shrinked. Yes, exactly. And so at this point, I think it's getting that same impact. That's why we learn about that in history classes, right? But at this point, it is, hey, you might be arguing, yes, it's nothing like that. Hold on, your horses. Here's where the difference is, but also what is important. We are, quote unquote, going at a slower pace or quote unquote slower, because you are informed every single week. You get the news on, hey, what is it? Micro Banana, right? Alex Crypto using it. You using it. Who else? LBC using it, right? Me using it. Everybody's using it. So you're
JR's using it.
JR is using it, yes. So you're not completely ignorant, right? Or ignorant, and don't take this the wrong way, right? We all are ignorant at some point. It's just missing of information. We're not completely ignorant about the topic. And the point is, one of the things, either we are smart enough, and this needs to come from society itself, to grab that AI and mix it with your abilities, so you are that guy that is giving more results than AI itself. Because just yesterday I called out my phone company and they keep passing me to a stupid AI. Come on, right now AI is not smart enough, to handle a customer care. So we are on that entanglement opportunity that never's been there before because you have the information on your fingertips. And it's true that we're going to have a lot of layouts, but this is a transition. This is the opportunity point in the cycle transition. So it's different, yes, because we have more access to it, we have more education, and it's the same because we're seeing that mass rotation of allocation in capital, right? From one sector to, hey, can the AI do it? Yes, but it's half-assing it, if you may ask me.
Yeah, when I'm waiting for the AI to get to the point that it tells me, sir, I will not continue this phone call if you continue to use that language with me. Because when it gets to that point, then hey, we're back right where we were at before with AI handling the job. Let's go talk about silver, and then I would like for you to pull up the chart and get that silver chart ready, so we can talk about that. Because guys, welcome back, OC. We got you over here with us. Triple digit silver. What is next after the Sleeping Beauty's metals 115% rally? Spot silver touched on a record high of more than $62 an ounce on Wednesday. Market watchers told CNBC the metal's dual identity as both an industrial component and a store of value were driving demand. Some said they expect silver will surpass $100 mark by the end of next year. By the end of next year, so 2026, they're talking about. Silver's been on a winning streak for this year that's seen the metal more than double in value, smash multiple records, and outperform gold. Since the beginning of the year, the so-called devil's metal has gained devil's metal. I feel like I should like rock out or something to Metallica with that, or some Slayer, or I don't know. 114.6% gains there. The spot silver last seen trading at around $61.96, and I do believe it's even up more than that now. Let me hit my little button here. Yeah, silver's at 63 now. So after touching a record high of 62.88 on Wednesday's session, a day earlier, silver surpassed the $60 mark. That's yesterday. $100 silver. Part of silver's rising appeal is its broadening role in the key industrial sectors. Paul Williams, managing director of gold and silver suppliers, Solomon Global, told CNBC he noted that the metal also offers investors a store of value amid uncertainty or volatility. Silver's dual identity of being an industrial resource, essential for the markets, and a store of value continue to draw in retail institutional buyers. For individuals who see gold as increasingly out of reach but want exposure to the ongoing precious metals boom, silver is proving, and I believe, will continue to be a compelling alternative. All the major tailwinds for silver remain in place. However, we should expect increased volatility. I'm actually planning to take my silver when it's time to sell it, and I plan to do a swap on some of it to gold, and then I have less of it because I have 41 ounces total, and then I would like to take some profit on it because at some point, I do think we will get a pullback, but I think it's going to be after it hits that triple digit, honestly. Silver is a critical component across various industries and is used in the production of electrical switches, solar panels, and cell phones. It's also used in hardware and infrastructure, driving the AI boom. So copper, one of those big ones. They're also saying silver is going to be a big one also for the AI boom, guys. As a result, global silver industrial demand is poised to grow further as demand from vital technology sectors accelerate over the next 5 years. So they're talking about 5 years, OC. Let's talk about this before we get the chart up. If we're hitting, because I didn't think we were going to get even close to $75 this soon. I thought it was going to be next year. At this point, early next year is where we're probably looking at. And I was thinking mid to late next year for $75. Silver is absolutely moonshotting. So the question is they're talking a 5-year move here. How high do you think silver actually gets? Does it break the 100 and keep on going? Do we get a pullback there? What's your thoughts on this? Let's say a projection of like silver looking at like 2029. We'll say early 2029. I'd like to know your thoughts on this. You can talk it out and then we can bring up the chart.
Absolutely. Let me ask a couple of questions. We might not have this information right in hand because it's very new and may not be out there. Well, not for the public. But when are we expected to finish up and deliver a working both chip manufacturing in the US and AI, the AI clusters? both the AI
The-
centers and the new
Well, the data
budget
centers is
allocation.
years, and
Mhm.
the chip making facility in Arizona, I believe that's by 2027. Someone correct me
Perfect.
if I'm
So
wrong in the chat.
and you are completely in line with what you mentioned, the 2030 target, right, for silver. I mean, we need to remember that in most of the cases, when you need to chip out on gold because of the gold pins, you use silver and you coat or you plate them with gold, right? So silver
Yep.
is a very big asset also in the industry. So it's going to be very hard to say how much we're going to be doing, but I can bet on a whatever we grow right now in this year, we're gonna double it or maybe triple it. It's not the full market cap, but we're gonna double whatever we grow in this announcement. Why? Because right now we're putting in the orders to what they believe it's gonna be needed, and then, well, as we have shortage, the price is gonna have a slow call back for a higher price. That makes sense. So it's shortage for the general public.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's go ahead and take a look at that silver chart and let's see what you think. Like, show me on the chart. Where should we be watching, OC? Where's the point of break there that we need to be watching?
Absolutely. So let's go and take a look at that theory, right? We haven't closed the year and we haven't also executed the full contracts on silver, I believe. All right. So take this with tweezers. This is part of me, quote unquote, guessing, which is educated guess based on what I know, which is speculation. All right. So just for the sake of that speculation, let's just go for this growth. All right. So I think it's going to be a little bit higher. So I believe that we're going to do something like that. And that has to do with the predictive ranges by the end of this year. Let me just bring them up in here. And yeah, whenever you're ready, there it is. Oh, so maybe I overshoot just a little bit. Here it is. All right. So based at the end of the year, I think that we might be hitting somewhere around 67. Piper was mentioning what you mentioned yesterday, 74. Not too far away. And
75.
based on this, 75. Perfect. So let me just duplicate this, clone it. And remember, I'm being very conservative because if we just shoot out on December and January, well, I need to factor that in with this calculation. All right. It's a very simple one. So I'm gonna be going for one time growth, and maybe if we're lucky enough, a second time growth. Oh, not that one. That was another thing. So let's clone it. Is it pasted? Oh, come on. This thing just doesn't want to play with me. Clone it. And maybe another time. This has to be done. I would actually cut this in half and do something like this really quickly. Instead of the full growth, I would say that we're gonna be having a range somewhere around here, maybe doing something like that, right? And then going down until we start breaking through. So I believe that we're gonna have that. At least I'm gonna be expecting by the end of 2026, somewhere around $89 per ounce on silver. Why am I being so optimistic? Because first, we have the manufacturing industry, and second, we have the economy pushing. So I'm expecting, because of all of the crypto CBDCs and new global shifting, that we not only get a depreciation or a capital rotation in fiat, but also we get growth on gold, and well, the next golden metal, it's silver, if you let me think that way. So I'm looking at somewhere first 66, and then a 89, and then maybe if we're lucky enough 111. So is it a parabolic growth? Yes, but we can see that from 2025 April, right? It's not something impossible. So if we just go and take a look at this, right, it would not be that far away by the end of the next year. So you can see that it's pretty realistic, I would say. So those are the areas that I will be looking as per a speculation.
Did you just mute yourself?
No, we just
Okay.
change Yeah.
Your mouth is way off on your words still, by the way. If you guys don't know,
You're right.
OC actually is speaking Spanish, and we have a translator that is actually talking for him. So we'll have to, maybe we can get a hot translator voice for him.
The AI is lagging here.
Big time. All right, man. OC, let's jump into a couple of alts, and then I want to talk about, and I'll go ahead and put it out in the chat right now. I want to know in the chat. Would you like to be in the top 10%? Put a 1 in the chat if you want to be in the top 10% of earners in America. I'm going to tell you when we come back from OC's altcoins how much you need to make to be a top 10% earner and how shockingly low it actually is in comparison to data that I've seen recently. OC, what do you got for us on the altcoins, man?
Let's go take a look at our earlier listing here of alerts. But also, you know what am I in the 10% globally? I don't know if I should be either ashamed or proud of this, but I share that with you, I believe. I'm in the Discord live meeting 10% more active globally. So I basically spend my time on Discord lives. So that actually impressed me. All right, let's go take a look at Litecoin here, the silver of cryptos. Well, not quite there. That was an old statement. And let's go over to the 4 hours. Here we go. We were expecting a little bit far movement to the upside. We already had an alert where I believe that we could be looking for a short. Seems like we're getting a little shy of it, but also the thing is not quite there and it's not finished. Why? Because we're getting at the bottom of our oscillator and we're not really dropping. I mean, we're holding the range. That is pretty good. Our prime score is telling us that we're pretty bearish, and our consolidation score is telling us that we are rising. Something important you may see, hey, why do we have a range and why my consolidation is 3? That has to do on how the broker that we're looking at is pushing the data. So if for some reason you are not, seems like it's not pairing, change your broker data, right? It will improve your consolidation score. As you can see, let me show you really quickly. I have, when I do Bitcoin, I have multiple Bitcoin charts. And when I do a couple of other things like, I don't know, Solana, for example, I have multiple Solana charts in here just to see how brokers are pushing that data. Other than that, I'm going to be looking for a possible long position on Litecoin. Let me bring up my indicators in here really quickly. And let's wait for those to load. And in the meantime, while they load, I'm also going to be pulling this out. So we were talking about looking at ADA. We also were looking at PENGU. So we're also going to be looking at those two. So really quickly, let me zoom in. This is a little too much. Let's go and turn something off in here. And of course, make sure our spaghetti is gone. So as you can see, we have 2 alerts. One all the way down in here at 67.48 and one all the way down at 93.38. As I'm seeing here, I'm going to be looking for that flip of the ribbon and then trying to catch a possible bounce. And that is because we've been into a little range in here for so long that I believe that we might have just a chance to, one, either get at the top of the range, which is dynamic reactor, and if we're lucky enough, because we're turning back green on the money flowing here, and if we are able to hold that, we might have a real chance for a breakout retest, hit target, and then retrace once again for the bigger range. If this does not play it out, I'm going to be waiting for a full turnaround, and then if I have a rejection, this is going to be my next entry for a short. Remember, at this point, we're not fighting the market. If we have a support, we long the support, and we have a resistance, we short the resistance, right? We need to be quick on changing that bias at these zones. Remember, we are ranging, we're in a transition area. So we talked about PENGU. So let's go take a look at PENGU and then XRP. Let me do PENGU here. So on PENGU, we have a pending analysis. Here it is. And we were expecting to have a breakout in here and then a possible support. So we did have the breakout. We're not quite there yet on that. I mean, we did went through that support zone. So this was my support zone. We're just a little bit below that, and we're going through it with a red volume matrix. This is not good for PENGU, especially since we are losing a trend line right there. So what I'm going to be looking for on PENGU is going to be a head switch. So basically breakout, retest, and then a continuation. I'm going to still very keeping my eyes open on this area, just like a hawk, to see what's going on in here, because despite we're pretty bearish, we can start shifting if we create a higher low. So that will be something important. If we create a higher low, I'm gonna be going in for a long somewhere around this area. So target is gonna be target entry. I'm gonna be going a little bit higher. Remember, my alert needs to be above of my actual entry, and I'm gonna be marking the 010739. And finally, let's go take a look at XRP and Cardano. So let's do that all the way up. And we got XRP. Perfect. I've been wanting to take a look at XRP for a little bit in here, and we finally had a chance. We are breaking the trend line in here, the support line. So basically, the symmetrical range triangle is being broken. That's not good. We also are getting a little reversal. So be patient, and we're going to be looking, of course, for this reaction. All right, so our next possible entry is going to be at that resistance, so keep your eyes open. I'm going to be adding both a standalone alert and also an alert added to this trend line. And one more thing, I just noticed that this is not locked, so make sure you lock your trend lines, make sure you lock your FIBs. And finally, let's take a look at ADA. I had it right here. So ADA here, Cardano. And on Cardano, perfect. We were expecting a hit on the trend line. We're breaking through that trend line, breaking through that dynamic reactor. Again, this is not good, but we're going to be expecting the same thing. Remember, we knew this possibility could be happening on the way down, right? And we were looking for a possible bouncing here. Remember, I told you this is going to be the important zone, so we need to keep an eye on it. So let me just remove it. It already has worked its purpose. And the next thing we're going to be looking for is going to be the flip of the ribbon. Seems like we are getting closer for that flip of the ribbon. But also, if this disappears, the next support zone is going to be all the way down here. In the meantime, I'm going to be looking for something like this for a continuation. If this starts moving downwards without the retracement, so I'm going to let it go, and I'm going to start planting myself, or looking into where I could be re-entering. This is not that bad. Why? Let's go to daily. And on daily, despite we're very low, we also have a breakout on this huge trend line. Remember, it's not about the breakout, it's about the retest. So it makes sense that we go a little lower. We find that support for maybe a swing failure pattern. Not only that, if I turn on one of my favorite indicators, the magnifier order blocks, you can see that we are right there with the big support. So that's what I'm going to be looking for, a possible swing failure pattern and then a continuation upwards. Look at our consolidation score on daily. We are about to break, and I think it's going to be to the downside. So that's what I got so far on the altcoins. Let me pass it over to you, Piper. And we're missing the ticker.
We are missing the ticker. Look at that. Let me reload that bad boy. There we go. Real-time widgets that don't like to play. All right, so let's talk about this. I'm also asking a question here. Top 10% earner amount.
I can select many things. So, for example, the Q&A. I click it, and it brings up the Q&A.
Oh, see, that sound's coming through.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. What are you doing, bro? Top 10% earner amount for global earners. Because you were talking about this, so it got me curious. What is your what? Let's go over to this article, and then I'll read this. She's doing her thinking right now. So, how much money would you need to be in the wealthiest 10% of U.S. households by region? They even breaks it down by region, guys. I meant to do this the other day, and I thought it was kind of interesting, so I wanted to share it with you. You'll need to earn close to $200,000 a year for a household, meaning if you have you and a spouse or you and, a whatever partner of some sort, $200,000 a year would put you in the top 10% of U.S. household incomes, though the exact threshold depends on where you live. A recent Visa analysis calculated the income and net worth of households needed to be considered affluent across the U.S., which the report defines as excuse me, goodness, allergic to all of this numbers, which the report defines as households in the top 10% in either terms of either income or net worth. So nationally, those thresholds are about $210,000 a year in income, or roughly $1.8 million in net worth. And you figure net worth by adding up your total debt, adding up your total money, I should say, total asset count. So if all your Bitcoin and your house value and all that, and then minus your debt off of it, that gives you your net worth. Unless you're like me, where you've got pension coming in from the military and all that other stuff, and then that's a whole different ball of wax. But anyway, I digress. Minus this debt. So those thresholds have increased since 2020. When the income needed to reach the top 10% was about $170,000 back then. It's now sitting at $200,000, and the wealth cutoff is now was 1.3 million back then. Now it's 1.8 million. So about $500,000 more in net worth there in order to hit that now. So if you live in the West, you need about $227,000 income or $2 million net worth, because California is damn expensive. Northeast, $222,000 income annually or a $1.9 million net worth. South, you need $205,000 income annually or 1.8 million net worth. And remember, this is household income. Okay, so Midwest, $198,000 income or $1.7 million net worth. Now, the interesting part, we'll come back over here. I did the global numbers. Okay, so to be in the top 10% of global earners, you need roughly an income of about $35,000 annually or more based on individual income. Okay, this estimate comes from the global income distribution models that show the richest 10% have earnings well above the global median. So to look at that into perspective of to be in the top 1% and globally, you would need to break $69,000 a year. So OC, what did you say you were at on the global scale? Where are you?
I was in the top 10, but I was in Discord's spending time on the chats.
Oh, well, if you earn more than $69,000 a year, you're in the top 1% of the global global earners. Just so you know.
Wow.
Just so you know. Yeah. And then, of course, your net worth. This is one of those big reasons, guys. It's hard to hit that income level. But let's think about it here. Over years of acquiring and accumulating some assets like Bitcoin or some smart stock picks, right? Some of the buying some altcoins at their bottoms and recycling that into Bitcoin as they make gains, right? That's the whole point. And the reason I wanted to bring this up, because asset accumulation is how people are going to get themselves above those thresholds. And so I just wanted to break that down for you guys. I thought it was pretty interesting. Shout out to Alex O Crypto. He said, I better go back to work. Alex O, was he in here making comments? I didn't even see him. Alex O, he's dropping his orders. I appreciate you being here, Alex O, always, man. And shout out to everybody in here. Just curious, guys, how are you going to get into that top threshold? Is it going to be from your job earnings, or is it going to be from your asset accumulation? I think I know the answer for most of us here. It's going to be that asset accumulation. So OC definitely working that angle now for years, starting with gold and moving into Bitcoin. So there you go, guys. That's what we got today. There's your levels. I won't even tell you where I'm at. I'm on the top 1% of earners, definitely globally. But yeah, we're not doing bad. We're not doing bad. Accumulation of assets. That's the answer. And we're going to keep doing that. So, OC, I appreciate you, bro. Press 2 buttons, buy and sell. That's all he does. I love you, Alex. I appreciate you, OC. Thanks for being here. We need to get your audio, video straightened out before I leave. Sunday, I'm gone. So I got one more show and then I'm gone for 2 weeks. So OC is going to be holding it down for you. Yeah, guys, if you haven't done so yet, you got anything out of today's show, smash the like button. If you want to be a tool and be like the person who either purposely or accidentally hit the dislike button, hey, it's still engagement. And thank you for your support to the channel. And we'll catch you guys tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. OC will be live tonight with Trade Setups with the OC guy. Tomorrow morning, BC Port Corp back here with Good Morning Crypto. We'll be here at 10 a.m. breaking down the news, the charts, the markets, and everything. You need to have knowledge because knowledge is profit. Until next time, guys, trade safe. Use some risk management. Peace, love, profits, and accumulate assets. Later, guys.
That's the rap. Chart stack data never lie. Piper led the mission, OC in the sky. Spaghetti on the screen, but the vision stay prime. Chart prime visual signals on time. Alumni strong, we built from the grind. Lessons in the market that'll outlive time. Knowledge is profit, you know how we run. Till the next one, stay sharp, get it done.
You can't handle the truth. Emotional damage.
We'll see you at the next
Don't
one.
know what the fuck they're doing.
Morning market report out.
Do you have a flag? Boom shakalaka.
We'll see you at the next one. Morning market report out. We'll see you at the next one. Morning market report. Ow.
That was awesome, dude.
Hey, it didn't break. What else you got?